Will the narcissist ever look back and use a little bit of self-reflection and see that losing you was a really great loss for them? The quick answer is yes, with a but. Yes, there are those feelings of missing you, but unfortunately, you're not missed for the things like who you are as a person, your morals, values, sense of humor, or anything like that. The core of who you really are and what makes you special and unique and you. Your goods and services are pretty much what's missed here. The money, the place to stay, physical things, hours on the phone, hours of texting, trips, and things like that you have given to this person time and time again. Well, that's what the narcissist has become accustomed to. That's what they expect, and then they're not there anymore. So that is what is missed by the narcissist. They're interested in nothing about you specifically. If you could buy them a new car and I can buy them a new car, we're actually pretty much the same. The fact that maybe you were long-term consistent supply might be a little bit more in your favor, might work out for you a little bit better. But again, it really doesn't have anything to do with you. It's more so what you provided. And I hear from a lot of people, oh, one day they'll realize that I was the best thing that ever happened to them. They'll realize that they can't get better than me. And thinking the way a narcissist does, which I really don't recommend all that much, but the thing of it is, I truly don't think that they see it as much of a loss, like losing you specifically. Usually in a narcissistic relationship or friendship or whatever relationship you have with this person, as long as they have all these narky tendencies, we end up getting discarded, right? They end up doing that, or we walk away for good. Either way, something happens, right? So let's talk about like what happened to me. I got discarded. They found somebody else, they groomed them, and they moved on. So if they felt it necessary to discard you, they don't see you as being a valuable source anymore because they're not staying. They think they have somebody else who's a more valuable source. They don't see that in you anymore. So really, what, as far as a narcissist is concerned, are they missing? Because you're not up to snuff. You're not doing whatever it is they want you to do, not providing what they want you to provide. And that's why they're moving on with somebody else. Hell, maybe it's that you have understood what's going on as far as narcissism, and maybe you've exposed them. Well, that doesn't do them any good anymore, and they have to move on. And they truly believe they've found somebody better. You weren't good enough. Like I say, you weren't doing good enough for them. So with that mentality of, well, I don't need you anymore, pretty much like what happened to me, they put you in the garbage can. Why would they miss that? They don't feel like you've been hitting all those things that you need to hit to maintain being a good source of supply. They feel as if they have a new person. They've projected everything onto you and made everything your fault. So I highly doubt they're missing anybody who they feel is like shitty and not doing what they're supposed to do. If you'd like to talk to a fellow survivor one-on-one and get some help and support for what you're going through, you can send an email to BookAChatWithJess@gmail.com to set up an appointment for a private session with me. If they walked away or they ghosted or whatever, they didn't think very much of you to begin with, and they never do. What makes you think they look back and go, wow, like what a great person I lost? They literally look back and go, wow, what a waste of my time. They wouldn't give me what I want, do what I want, take me where I want, etc., etc. Or they didn't have enough money, or even things like they were trying to get me to be an adult and take some responsibility. Basically, again, just basically what happened to me. They saw you as a pain in the ass. And that's what I was. I was trouble. I was annoying. I was asking questions, wanting conversations, and I shut off access to everything in my life. So yeah, I got dropped like a rock. They look back on it all and probably go, damn, I wish I could have some of that supply and attention. That's probably the best in that scenario you're ever going to get from someone narcissistic. And I know that to be true because hoovering is totally a thing. And to go further on this, my feelings are, since they do hoover, we know that's a thing that most of them do, they still see you as having some potential to maybe giving them access to your life again. I feel like sometimes they don't look back and necessarily see it as a loss. Like everyone's like, oh, are they ever gonna remember what they lost. And sometimes I don't think they see it as a loss because, again, hoovering, in time, they'll come back. So it's kind of like, well, we're on a brief intermission. We're on a break. I don't want you right now. So here, I'm discarding you and I'm moving on with somebody else. And once things don't work out here, or I get bored or whatever, then I'll come back and we'll just pick right up where we left off. So they don't entirely miss something that they're planning on returning to later. That's pretty much my second school of thought. They either don't think much of you because you weren't doing what they wanted, or they took a brief interlude, if you will, to go be with somebody else, and they're planning on rekindling things with you later. Therefore, there's nothing to miss because you're just kind of put away. You're not really gone. If you left them, then narcissism kicks into full force because they have to rationalize you leaving them. A narcissist has to make sure that being left or being discarded, broken up with, whatever, is okay in their mind. They have to rationalize it and make it okay because it's a huge ego bruise. We know how these people behave. They have to bury into the delusional fantasy world that they live in where they convince themselves that you suck. You did them a favor anyway. God, I couldn't have gotten rid of you any faster. Thank you. The garbage takes itself out. One of those, you can't fire me, I quit, kind of things. Oh, good. I'm glad you're gone. They come back to see if they can get more goods and services. And I believe they hoover more so out of desperation, but also if you were a really, really good source of supply to them at one point, like I said before, I don't ever really think they plan on something truly ending, even though they say that. They say all kinds of shit they don't mean. Actions speak louder than words. Myself, as well as you, I'm sure you've had somebody say, I'm never talking to you again. And then they come back. Or don't reach out to me anymore. And then they reach out to you. They're just a big can of hot air. They're full of shit and nothing means anything. So that's kind of how I feel like it works with a narcissist because the Hoover wouldn't exist. It's like they still think that maybe something is there, but not right now. They want to go and explore other options. These are people who they always want to leave the door open. And you know that because they play these games. They block and unblock and delete you and re-add you and do all this stupid stuff they do. They have secondary social media profiles to reach out to you on. They also do things like they don't provide you closure. A lot of them won't even tell you it's over. Like in my case, I just got ghosted with no nothing. And a week and a half later, this person and their new supply were plastered all over social media. I guess that's pretty much how I found out that this person was moving on with their life. There was no closure, but they weren't moving on with their life. They wanted to go see what else was out there, dig around a little bit, and then they went, maybe I'll go try to rekindle this again. But in the end, I believe that you're not really seen as a loss, nor I, because you're really not any more special than anybody else. As far as narcissists are concerned, well-adjusted adults know that people are unique and different and special, and there are just these little quirks and idiosyncrasies about people that really make them who they are. But really, as far as a narcissist is concerned, we're like a name and a number, a list of goods and services. But also, it's not an ending. If they have it their way, if people who are really narcissistic have it their way, there's no real finality there. They're going to come back again and again and again if it's allowed until there really is nothing left and they do move forward. Like I say, eventually they take those few steps forward and they don't return. But if you keep humoring them or they keep humoring you and it keeps going back and forth, we don't know how long that would really take. But I never say never. Let me know how you feel about all this down in the comments. What are your opinions? Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, Survivor, and take care of yourself.